my honest and personal review of the book Wrath of His Revenge by Great Fairy, including my thoughts, reactions, and what I've learned on the story. And from the very first chapter, I could already tell that this is not going to be light or easy to read. The mood is heavy, intense, and emotionally draining in a way that immediately pulls you in. The main lead is introduced as someone who is completely driven by anger and revenge because of his painful past. As a reader, I instantly felt the weight of his emotion, and honestly, it made reading uncomfortable at times. I felt frustrated seeing how his actions affected innocent people who had nothing to do with his trauma. However, despite how upsetting it was, it also made his character feel realistic. It showed how revenge can slowly consume a person and turn them emotionally numb. The main lead is one of the most complex characters in the story. He is cold, calculated, and emotionally distant, which made it really hard to like him at first. While reading his sins, I often found myself questioning his choices and getting irritated by how easily he hurt others. Still, I think that was intentional. His character represents how unresolved pain and trauma can turn someone into a person who prioritizes revenge over humanity. What made him interesting, though, is that his anger didn't feel forced or dramatic just for the sake of the plot. It felt like something that had built up over time, making his actions feel believable even if they were wrong. The female lead has a strong emotional impact on me as a reader. Unlike typical romance stories where love instantly heals everything, she doesn't magically change the male lead. Instead, she becomes emotionally affected by his anger and unresolved issues. Reading her experiences made me uncomfortable, but in a way that felt necessary. I admired her strength and patience, but at the same time, I couldn't help feeling sad for her. It made me reflect on how love should never require someone to constantly endure emotional pain just to prove their loyalty. Her character made the story feel raw and realistic, showing that love can be complicated and sometimes painful. One thing I really appreciated about this story is how the relationship between the two main characters wasn't idealized. Their interactions were filled with tension, misunderstanding, and emotional struggles. Instead of romanticizing toxic behavior, the story shows how emotional damage can affect both people in a relationship. As a reader, I often felt torn between wanting them to work things out and wanting the female lead to protect herself emotionally. This made the story more engaging because it didn't offer easy answers or perfect solutions. One of the most memorable turning points for me was when the male lead slowly started realizing the consequences of his actions. There were moments when his revenge no longer felt satisfying, and his inner conflict became more obvious. I remember feeling relieved that he was finally becoming self-aware, but also disappointed because the damage had already been done. It really emphasized the idea that realization often comes too late when anger has already taken control. This part of the story made me reflect on how important it is to face emotional pain early instead of letting it turn into something destructive. In terms of its structure, the novel is well organized and emotionally driven. The pacing allows the tension to build gradually, starting with revenge, moving into emotional conflict, and eventually leading to self-reflection. The author's use of inner monologues helped me understand the character's thoughts and emotions on a deeper level. Some scenes felt emotionally exhausting, especially when the conflicts became intense, but I think that emotional heaviness was necessary for the story's theme. It kept me fully invested and made the emotional moments feel more impactful. The story carries strong themes about anger, trauma, love, and accountability. One message that really stood out to me is that love alone cannot heal someone who refuses to confront their own pain. The novel also shows that revenge may feel powerful at first, but it never truly brings peace. These themes made me think deeply about real-life relationships and emotional boundaries, which is something I didn't expect from a dark romance novel. The physical appearance of the book also deserves attention. The cover design perfectly matches the dark and serious mood of the story. The color choices and overall layout already give off an intense vibe even before you start reading. The text is clear and easy to follow, which helps during long reading sessions. Overall, the book's presentation complements its emotional depth and prepares the reader for the heavy themes inside. Because of its emotional depth, realistic characters, and strong themes, I would rate this book 4 out of 5 stars. While some parts felt emotionally heavy and exhausting to read, I think that intensity fits the dark romance genre and strengthens the message of the story. I would recommend this book to readers who enjoy dark romance and stories that challenge emotions, relationships, and moral boundaries, especially those who appreciate realistic and emotionally intense narratives. Thank you for listening to my review. I hope my thoughts gave you a better idea of what Wrath of His Revenge is about and why it left such a strong impression on me.